I think it's fair to say that the people who stormed the Capitol are not representative of the 75 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump. But the revisionist history is that not only was this inevitable, every single person who voted Trump, every single person who didn't even vote Trump, but talked up some of his policies, or who downplayed his tweets, who said that he says a lot of crap, because he does say a lot of crap, who says that Trump is irresponsible in his rhetoric, that he heightens the tensions, that he makes the temperature warmer, but that he doesn't openly incite violence. Anybody who said that sort of stuff, they all knew this was going to happen, right? This is the line. This is the line. So this led to the most popular video of the weekend, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this does signify where so many in the media and sort of the mainstream left wish and Arnold was never a conservative, right? I mean, when I was in California and he was governor of California, he governed basically like a moderate Democrat, blew out the deficit and all that. In any case, here is Arnold Schwarzenegger suggesting that what happened last week is like Kristallnacht. Republicans are like Nazi fellow travelers and then pledging allegiance to Biden forever. This is one of the most popular videos of the weekend about what happened last week.
I'm very aware of Kristallnacht, or the night of broken glass. It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys. They're complicit with those who carried the flag of self-righteous insurrection into the Capitol. President-elect Biden, we stand with you today, tomorrow, and forever in defense of our democracy from those who would threaten it.
Okay, so first of all, a few things here. One, all the best to President-elect Biden in his new term, so long as he does things that obviously defend the rights of the American people. I wish him the best when he does things that are good for America, and when he pursues policies that I think are bad for America, then we should oppose him, just as we would any other president. Any other president. Okay, when it comes to insurrectionists attempting to prevent him from being duly elected president of the United States, of course I support him and anybody else who opposes that, including Mitch McConnell, including the other Republicans who oppose that. As far as the Kristallnacht comparison, it was a very long talk here that Schwarzenegger did, where he talked about how his father and other men in Austria would think back to their time when they were complicit with the Nazis, and then this is after World War II, because he was born a couple of years after World War II, and they'd beat their wives, and they'd beat their children, and they'd get drunk. And the implication, of course, is that there are millions and millions and millions of Americans who were complicit in what happened on Wednesday. First of all, it was not Kristallnacht. You know how I know it wasn't Kristallnacht? Because Kristallnacht, for those who are historically ignorant, happened in 1938 with the express permission of the Nazi government. Okay, not implied. The express permission and encouragement and participation of members of the Nazi government. Okay, the dictatorship Nazi government. Okay, wasn't it there was Kristallnacht? And then the legislature came back into session and then said, you know what, I can't believe those rogues. Let's move on with the business of government. Okay, first of all, it was not that. It was a government-sponsored pogrom against Jews. 30,000 Jews were rounded up by the government during Kristallnacht and deported to concentration camps. 7,000 Jewish-owned businesses were burned down. 267 synagogues were burned to the ground. Hundreds of people were murdered at the behest of the unified dictatorship Nazi government. To compare what happened last week to Kristallnacht is a joke. Okay, it was not Kristallnacht. It was not even close to Kristallnacht. And yet the comparison is meant, of course, to inflame further. The comparison is meant to indict anybody who once wore a MAGA hat or who voted against Joe Biden as complicit in the attack last week. Okay, that was the goal, because once you do that, you can do whatever you want. Once you have labeled half of the country Nazis or Nazi fellow travelers, you can then do whatever you damn well please to them, right? Because rights shouldn't apply to those people. Because if those people backed what we saw last week, well, then we should be deplatforming them, right? We should be looking to finish their careers. We should be excising them from our social circles, right? Those are all things that we should be doing. So this is the goal. The goal is to, and as we'll see a little bit later on, this is the overall move that the left is making right now. Ban everybody in media I don't like. Ban everybody on the other side of the aisle I don't like. Ban every outlet I don't like. And it's meeting with a fairly tremendous amount of success. So it started with Trump, but it's certainly not going to end with Trump. We'll get to that in a second, because Trump has now been banned from nearly every social media platform.